Hi, you're listening to
Dead Dad Disco
with me, Matty.
And me, Marina.
Together we're exploring the complexities, memories and laughter around the grief of our dead dads.
So maybe you like disco.
Maybe you don't.
Maybe you like talking about your dead dads.
Maybe you don't.
Either way,
we hope that you can get something from this.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to, this is actually episode 7 of Dead Dad Disco. We did make a bit of a hiccup last time, Matty, didn't we? And we thought it was episode 7 last time.
Yeah, episode 6, so wasn't it? Or was it 8? I'm not too sure.
So we're just confusing ourselves now. This is episode 7. Last time we said it was episode 7, it was actually episode 6. So what a great way to begin the intro to episode 7. That is definitely episode 7.
When did my dad die? 7 years ago? It's been 7 years ago for the past 4 years, I think. So it's just those things. Dates become nothing.
What is time?
What is time? And you might have heard it just there, listeners. We have very exciting news. So chuffed to announce that our guest for episode 7 is our very first international guest and listener. Let's give a big hey there and hi to Rachael.
Woo!
I'm so excited about this. Rachael, you got in touch with us on email, having stumbled across us on Instagram, and you are all the way over in New Jersey, in America. That's right, isn't it?
I'm very pleased that you started with New Jersey because that's a really important piece because there is something about being from New Jersey that it is very, very big here. So thank you for knowing the order of importance,
yes.
New Jersey, United States, but more importantly, New Jersey.
New Jersey. Yes, we will focus on the New Jersey part. And listeners, we are actually recording this over Zoom, our first time ever. So you can't see this, sadly, but all three of us are awkwardly sitting with our faces facing each other over a computer screen to make this recording possible. And we're greatly enjoying seeing Matty's kitchen in the background. It's very nice looking into people's homes. But yeah, so for us, it's 6:30 in the evening. What time is it there for you, Rachael?
It's about 1:45 in the afternoon.
Oh, my goodness. And because we're British, we're going to moan about the weather. It's absolutely awful here. I live in Devon in the UK, and we have had flood warnings for about what feels like 33 months, but it's just January. Please tell me, what is the weather like there?
It's honestly disrespectfully cold here.
Oh, really?
It's been 7 degrees.
Oh my God, I'm so happy.
It was warmer. It was warmer in Alaska this week than New Jersey.
Wow. Yeah. Oh my God.
So honestly, and I don't know if you know about weird American things, but Groundhog Day is on Monday, tomorrow. Yeah. And it's there's this groundhog that comes out of the hole, and if it sees its shadow, there's 6 more weeks of winter, and if it doesn't, it's early spring. And the posts I've been seeing have me rolling, because one was if that groundhog sees his shadow, it's going on the grill. That's it.
I love that tradition.
We've seen enough.
So I think all New Jersey residents must feel like the UK system as well.
Yeah. There's snow everywhere, and it's cold and it's icy, and I'm I've seen enough.
I'm so over it. I'm still angry, listeners. I was angry the last time we recorded in early January. I hate winter in the UK. But I'm selfishly extremely happy that you are suffering as well.
Misery loves company, so
exactly. That should be my middle name. So we're so excited to have you here. Our second guest for 2026. And I think we're just going to jump straight in. I mean, Matty is here. If I let him talk for a minute, he can say hello. Right, that's enough. Back to me. But let's just jump straight in and go, how is everyone doing? How are you doing, Matty?
I'm okay. So this weekend I've just been to a place called North Devon, to a place called Ilfracombe, where my family and I frequented quite a lot. So it's kind of walking around that coffee shop's still there, and then going straight into being sat there with my mum and dad, and so kind of just triggering around every corner, So it's just been really difficult. And so, and actually, one of these coffee shops, I remember we were having Sunday lunch there, and my dad had farted, and he blamed it on the cauliflower. So Mum, in her sassy way, was like, "This cauliflower's off. It's terrible. It stinks." Blah, blah, blah. The cauliflower went back. We got money off our bill, and then later, when we all got back into the car, Dad admitted that he'd actually farted, and Mum didn't speak to him for a good few hours. So yeah, that just reminded me of that story. But anyway, then I did get quite drunk this weekend in Ilfracombe, and then cried on my friend in the kebab shop. So,
Oh God!
yeah.
What a joyful weekend.
No, it was beautiful actually, and spending time with her mum and dad was really nice, and they were really, just cooking and telling stories and hugging, and it was really, really nice to be around a mum and dad.
Which she selfishly had.
Yeah.
The audacity, like really, come on.
Yeah. Rachel, how are you?
I'm doing okay. Over the cold, as we have established. We did have a snow day from school last week, and then a delayed opening, and then I took a personal day on Friday. So I really only worked like 2.5 days last week. So a little piece of me has like the Sunday scaries, like, oh, I have to work like a full week, be an adult all week. So there's that. Yeah, and I've started rehearsals. I'm a middle school play director, so middle school rehearsals have started, which is so much fun. But it's like it extends the day and extends. We have Saturday rehearsals, and I have a church job as well. So from now until March, I'm working 7 days a week. So that's fun.
How do you manage that? Because you're a drama teacher, is that right?
Music, music. Kindergarten through 8th grade.
Oh.
Whoa.
So the whole school. So it's a time. It's time.
It's incredible.
And then the world is on fire on top of that. So it's just life is grand.
Yeah. Literally 7 days a week and 24 hours of the day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So.
We were squirting it a bit. Why do I have such an issue saying the word skirting? But I think just before we started, we were just moaning about how unbelievable the world is right now, especially for the part of the world that you're in. There's not much I really want to. I don't know that I want to give it any airspace, but
no,
I don't think we should. Actually, that's not what we're here to discuss. Yeah.
No,
I'll get back in my box.
Yeah. Stay on track, would you? Teacher mode will come out. I can't help it. Just like, sometimes I don't even realize I'm like in that mode with like friends, and they're like, "Do you use teacher voice on me?" I'm like, "I'm so sorry."
Brilliant.
So sorry.
Well, I definitely need it.
Just like knock it off.
Marina, how are you?
I'm good. My anger sort of jumped around a lot this week. The last time we met, everybody was being very polite and saying, "Oh, it's lovely to meet you. And how are you?" And I went, "I'm angry." And I've lent on friends this week. I found it on Instagram actually, this idea called a Wednesday waffle, where if you've got friends who are long distance or live in different parts of the world, or just have kids, which stops, or being an adult, let's be honest, and that to stay present in each other's lives is really important. And so every Wednesday, you just send a 2-minute video in a little group just to say, how's your week been? How are you feeling? And update. And that group has been going now for like 2 years. So I had a little, something happened this week. It was only a minor thing, but I was feeling very angry, which just brings up a lot of stuff. And there's a lot of memories around my dad's. I've got to. That joke will never end. And it was it's okay to have those spaces. I felt very privileged to have that space, and friends checking in on me all week, and them going, it is absolutely fine for you to leave a voice note where you just scream for 4 minutes, unexplained, and we'll all understand, and that's fine. I was like, I might take you up on that. But yeah, starting to see the light at the tunnel at the end. I'm definitely affected by the weather. So there's been some beautiful sunshine in parts this week. Although down the road there was a car submerged because the floods are so bad here. So it's been a bit of when will it end? But there's a bit of sunlight, so a bit of hope, bit of hope. But yeah, angry but okay.
It's like the calmest anyone's been angry. You're like, and I was angry.
The calmest angry.
It's like, do you ever see the Disney movie Enchanted?
Yeah.
With Amy Adams, and she's like, she discovers, she's like, oh, I'm angry. And then she's like excited because she's in until you're in. And, you know, it just is so different to go through it versus to like witness somebody else go through it.
Yeah.
But I do think that it definitely, like, you know, when I have had other people lose a parent after me, you know, it's just that like there's nothing to say, you know, that like there's no magic word, there's nothing, you know, and you could I have the best friends and the best family. Like I am so fortunate. I have amazing colleagues. I have so many good things, but it's just nothing sits in a way that's like, oh yeah, that works. That helps. It's just weird, you know.
And
Yeah,
they're never going away. Like, you know, you lost your dad a decade
Yeah.
ago. It doesn't change.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, like it's not something you don't ever wake up and like you're like, today's the day. Today's the day I don't care anymore. It's just, you know, and it's not always in the forefront. Like it's not like over time it's not as raw necessarily as when it first happens. But you know, it just and it's sneaky. Like grief is sneaky. It can blindside you. You know, on a day where you're just like not even remotely thinking about it, and then someone says something or, you know, asks a question, or you're like, oh, you know, and then in terms of like milestones too, you know, there's that finite place where that person that you lost never gets to experience anything else, like with or for you, or like hear about it. And like that never goes away either, right? Like I got my master's degree after my dad died, and so it was, like all of these like little things. It's like, oh, like he doesn't get to be there for that. And I think sometimes too, like living in the current state of the United States, there's like so many people I'd love to trade places with instead of my dad. Like there's some people that I think should be, in his place, and he should still be rocking and be here. And there's that piece too. And like I'm so thankful that I have a sister, and like that I didn't have to be completely like alone in that. It's different for us than it is for my mom. Losing a partner versus losing a father, I think, is two different things. And so it is nice that I don't have to bear that piece alone.
Can you both be like open with each other with your grief? Is it a good relationship with your sister?
Yeah. No, it's great. It is funny though. We joke around. Like I am very like, I would like everyone to know how I'm feeling at all of the times, and I have a very loud face. Like if I don't say it out loud, my face will. And my sister is a little bit more like introverted and like not as like, here are my feelings. So we have shared about it. We just share very differently. And so like, there's like the running joke that like she's the ice queen and has no feelings, which obviously isn't true. But I was talking to my mom actually earlier today. We're kind of like a dog and a cat. Like I'm like, everybody love me, and I'm gonna love you, and I want to snuggle, and I want to hug, and all these things. My sister's like, I will let you know when it's okay. So don't hear me, and please don't touch me. So it's funny because we have very similar mannerisms and like personality, my sister and I. Like when we're together, like same hand gestures, similar voices, but like the way we carry on is so different. So it's just it's funny.
That's so funny. I'd love to be a member of that WhatsApp group with your sister. I bet there are some funny conversations.
So I'm the younger of the two of us, and it's been like, a long-standing family joke that I'm the favorite. And our group chat with our mom is literally labeled "chat with the favorite child." And yes, like her name's Desiree. Like that, and she named it. My sister named it. Like that's just like base level, like where we're at. But we have this thing called sister code, where if one of us is either like on the phone or with our mother, and she does something ridiculous or insane, like you immediately have to tell the other one, like in that moment, either like in the group chat or you pick up the phone and you call. And my mom gets so mad because she's like, don't tell your sister, you're gonna run and tell your sister. And then like we immediately, it's like sister code, listen to this ridiculous thing mom has done today. So it's like a constant, it's a bit, every part of my life I feel like is a bit that I'm constantly working on. But that family dynamic is very funny. But it was hard initially, because we all are different in that capacity, and the way we grieve and what we were grieving and how we were grieving. And I live about 2 hours away from them. Okay. So most of that initial stuff was kind of like done over the phone or like scheduled weekends. I mean, even when my dad was sick, it was, it was close enough that I could get there, but not, randomly on a Wednesday night during the week for dinner. And it was that kind of like constant back and forth. And my sister had moved back in when my dad was sick. So she was living with my mom. So it was like they were having trouble in their own way figuring things out. So like one of them would call me complaining about the other one. And then the other one would call me. And then it became this like, like how do I
You're the family referee.
And because most times like everybody actually like wanted the same thing or felt the same way. It would just weren't always great at communicating like what that was.
Yeah.
And so like teacher mode came in like big time
Yeah.
because, you know, um it was just this like constant,
It's
you know,
pretty
circulating
intense though,
around.
isn't it? If you're all living together. I mean, I don't know about you guys
Yeah,
ever had to move home as an adult and you love your family, but instantly want to kill them as well. It's not-
exactly, exactly.
Mm.
So like I always tease, I'm like, you two are never allowed to live together again. Like
Yeah.
it, you know, we're just not doing
Yeah.
it. Um,
And the three
so
different experiences of grief would have been hard to juggle as well. Like you and your sister and your mum as well. That's such a
yeah, and at the time that my dad passed, I was married. So I
mm,
was also, and it was like newer married. And so there was like that dynamic too, where like
mm,
I was kind of trying to start my life in this capacity here
mm,
while still trying to like be a part of what was going on there.
mm.
And then the other piece for me that was really hard is my job. Teaching music and theater
Yeah.
is it's vulnerable, it's joyful, and I like literally am singing and dancing. So you know like my dad died, and then I'm just like singing Christmas songs. I'm like, this is weird as hell. And it was exhausting because
Yeah.
like I was like putting everything I had like into that. And then
Yeah.
I'd come home and I was just so exhausted. Like I couldn't do anything else.
No. It's because
So
you're sort of having to mask, aren't you? You have to put a
yeah,
face on.
and it's
Yeah.
it's like, I mean, teaching is already something that requires masking on a
Mm,
on a daily basis. But especially in the performing arts where like,
mm,
like this is a class that kids look forward to, or like or it's their break in the day, or it's all of these things. And then
mm.
I'm also in front of parents and on display more than other teachers because like my work is always in front of people. Like we have a
Yeah.
concert or we have a play or so I just always had this face time with people um when I didn't want to look at anybody.
Yeah.
Like
I,
I would have loved to have had an office job in that first year to just like put my head down, do my work, and not talk to anybody.
Yeah.
And then like here I was, like I like not only do I not have a choice in terms of talking, but then like, we're like sitting in a circle and like I teach as young as kindergarten. So like they don't know,
yeah.
so like they're, you have to give them the show. So that was really hard to do.
I think
Mm.
you've also got like I'm just imagining like you're teaching kindergarten children songs and then like you breaking down halfway through Jingle Bells or something, and then those children then automatically think that Jingle Bells has you weeping halfway through it. So for the rest of their life, they're like dashing through the and so for the rest of their life, they're like, that's just how it is. And then you've just got this generation of
Yeah. Yeah. And what was wild at the time too, so my dad passed away in November. So it was like the week before Thanksgiving. And about 2 or 3 weeks after my dad passed away, one of my colleagues passed away suddenly.
Oh wow.
And so the initial like first week I came back after like the funeral and all that, it was a nice distraction in some ways to jump right back in. And school was kind of like the happy place. And I was like, it was kind of the escape,
Mm.
And I have really wonderful colleagues who were so supportive and great when I came back. And then there was this tragic loss of a teacher who had been there for like 19 years, and she was a special ed teacher and just like such an impactful person.
Mm.
So then it went from everywhere I was sad,
Oh wow.
because
Yeah,
then
that's
all
heavy.
of my colleagues, then we had this like shared collective grief.
Mm.
And then so I was like managing this like personal grief, and then also then like not wanting to like burden anybody with that, because everybody that was, especially teachers that had been very close with her and had worked with her for a long time, like so that dynamic at school was hard because
Mm.
everyone was sad. It's easier to support someone when one person's sad and everybody else is going about their business and can like stop and like be there. But then when there's this collective grief on top of that,
Mm.
you know,
And you don't
uh,
have space either. You don't have
yeah,
the
and
proper space.
it just like it encompassed everything.
Yeah.
Um, so like that was it was compounded in a way
Yeah.
that I think it took a lot longer to kind of navigate because like I didn't have space.
Mm.
Um,
And time between them to grieve it
yeah,
properly. It all
yeah,
just gets mixed in
yeah,
together.
and it just and like, you know, so like we ended up they had a memorial service for her like in the gym.
Mm.
Um, filled filled with former students and current students and parents, and I mean it was incredible and so sad. And then like a week later, like we had our winter concert and here we are singing it. Like it
Yeah.
just sometimes
It's
it's like
mental, isn't it?
what like what are we doing?
Why are
um
we doing this? Yeah.
you're like, this feels dumb. I
Yeah.
mean, you know, and it's like, and there's like the, you know, in teaching, it's like, you know, try to keep it as normal for the kids as possible and keep their
Yeah. Yeah.
routines and keep all of those things, which is totally important. I get it. But it's like, really? We're okay, great. We're just gonna
Okay.
do this.
We're
Okay,
doing
cool,
this.
cool, cool, cool. All right, Frosty, here we go. You know, it just like just like a wild ride. In
Yeah.
general.
Do you know,
So
you probably know this anyway, but there is a science around singing and how that impacts your brain and your emotions. And it's actually recommended to sing, and it will change how you feel. It will change your mood. It releases a chemical in your brain. I don't know any more details on it than that, but I've always been fascinated by that because I know what you're saying. Like there couldn't be anything worse. I mean, like dashing through the snow, like when you're feeling awful. But I
okay,
wonder if there were
like yeah,
times
let's
you
bring,
came out of it
you
going,
know, we're
yeah,
like
a
playing
bit better.
classroom instruments, you know, like little like plastic rhythm sticks and like, you know, just like carrying on, going about our day. Um, you know, and then in the meantime, it's like my dad died. Like this
Yeah,
sucks.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Like, it just sucks, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, so he had cancer. He had glioblastoma, which was a pretty aggressive brain tumor. Um, and I mean, it's so weird when you talk about it too, because most people that have that specific kind of brain tumor usually like get like 6 months.
Mm.
Like it's a very aggressive and usually short-lived thing. Um, so it, he lived for 2 years
Oh, whoa,
with
that's
it.
a hell of a lot longer.
Yeah. So there's always this like this piece that's like we were so lucky because we got so much longer with him than I feel like we should have in that
Mm.
capacity. But also like it still really friggin' sucks. And
Yeah.
you know,
What a death sentence, literally, to live under though for 2 years. Sorry to jump in, but I'm just a bit blown away by that. To
yeah.
that, how did you? I can see I'm struggling to even get the
Yeah.
words out. How did you live with that as a family?
Yeah. No, it's so so I was my wedding was in October of 2013. And what had kind of started part of it was that my dad was like trying to lose weight for the wedding because he wanted to look nice in his tux.
Mhm.
It's like what a nugget. And like he was Italian, like the pasta and bread were like his life. And he like was eating salad and like not having bread and like all of those things. And it was very adorable. But like he wasn't losing weight. And like typically, no offense, Maddie, men, like it's easier for them. Like they can
Yeah.
literally just like stop looking at soda and like drop 20 pounds. So for him, like he was like, oh, this is actually kind of weird. Like, you know, I'm
Yeah.
doing these things. So there was something going on like with his thyroid. So like he had like an appointment like lined up anyway for something else, like completely unrelated. And so, you know, he was obviously fine at the wedding and everything was okay. And so it was like a couple weeks later, like I get this call from my mom and she was like, your dad's in the hospital. I was like, I'm sorry, what? And so he had fallen at work. He had a seizure and fell at work. Um, and so that was like a second piece. Typically, this is a kind of tumor that doesn't show any symptoms. Like
Oh
by the
my
time
God.
they find it, it's done. So this seizure, like they found it and
Mm.
it still was like aggressive, but they did surgery.
Mm.
So like he had surgery, I feel like on a Friday morning and then came home on Sunday. I'm like, what? Like he just had brain surgery. Why is he home? And they're like, well, actually, like it's better off going home because sick and whatever, like
Oh yeah, yeah.
being in the hospital sometimes makes it worse. So the first kind of year, and he started chemo and radiation and all that, you wouldn't have even really known he was sick. Like his spirits were really great, and like everybody, we just kind of like we're like, we got this, like we're gonna do it. And he had amazing doctors and everything was, like as to kind of we were like, okay, like we could maybe do this. Still super hard, still stressful, once again living far away and not being able like I couldn't be at doctor's appointments.
Mm.
And then there was the piece where like sometimes like the information from the doctor's appointment wouldn't make it to me, or like my sister and I would get different information.
Yeah.
I was like that piece of it, being the most sensitive of the family. I think sometimes it was like they were trying to guard me and
Oh, I
make
see.
sure that, like
Okay.
I wasn't, because they knew I was already struggling being far away. And so I think
Yeah.
sometimes it was like, oh, maybe we'll just like leave like little bits out if but then they'd bring it up casually in conversation. And I'm
Oh,
like,
that's
wait,
super
what?
stressful.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, what was that? What did you say? Like when his tumor came back, I didn't know. I didn't
Oh, they
know that his
chose not to
tumor had
tell
come back.
you.
Yeah.
And my mom wanted to, and it wasn't like it wasn't malicious, it wasn't on purpose. My mom is like a gem of a human. But she like casually one day was like, well, since the tumor's back, I was like, I'm sorry, rewind.
Come again.
What? What do you mean the tumor came back? Like what? She's like, oh yeah. I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah. Sorry, spoiler alert.
Totally fine. So we had to have a second surgery.
Oh, crikey.
And that second surgery was kind of like that was when I feel like he was sick.
Right.
That was kind of more of the, oh shit, like this is a real thing. And it being in the brain and like where it took on like Alzheimer's type symptoms.
Oh, okay.
So like especially like toward the end, like he didn't know that he ate. He didn't like it was absolutely heartbreaking to watch.
Mm.
He couldn't drive. His whole life revolved around cars. Like he worked in automotive parts and like classic cars, like all of those types of things. Like I grew up with and around, and like for him not to be able to drive was like such a devastation for him.
Yeah.
And then just to kind of watch like the decline
Mm.
was for me, because I didn't get to see it over time, like it would be like I wouldn't see him and then I'd see him and it was like, oh God, it's much worse.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't really gradual for me to watch. Like it was kind of aggressive
Mm.
at that end point. And I remember the weekend, so then he had to go on hospice care, and it was like a Friday night, and I remember being at a wedding. And then it was like 6 a.m. on Saturday, and my sister called and she was like, you got to get here. Like, you have to come. Like, this,
Mm.
like, you have to be here. And, like, obviously did. And, and then we kind of like sat vigil because, like, he didn't technically die yet, but he was on his way out. And it was like
Yeah.
the keeping him comfortable kind of thing. And then, he has a twin brother. So like the twin brother came and my aunt and like, so they were sitting there, and then like the pastor came and did like
Mm.
last rites. And it was just like this, like really surreal kind of
Yeah.
weekend because this was like in
Mm.
my living room, like in the house I grew up in. Like
That's,
it was,
that's
it was at
beautiful,
home.
touching, but
Yeah,
weird.
he had
Yeah.
like home care hospice, which I think was helpful in some ways, but also like really weird because like this is where we had our Christmas tree growing up. And like, here is this like hospital bed, just like in the living room now, in the family room now, like weird.
Yeah.
But there's always humor to be found. So we had yeah, like on the TV, we put like Pandora on or whatever. And my dad was really into like doo-wop, Motown.
Okay.
So my dad was more like 50s greaser, and then my mom was like a hippie. So just like picture that for a minute.
Okay, all right.
So my mom saw like Janis Joplin and like she saw all of them live, and she like grew up in New York, Madison Square Garden, like did all of that.
Yeah.
And so like dad was more like Motown and doo-wop. So we're like, you know what, let's put some doo-wop on for dad, you know. And so that had been playing. And so the priest comes, my aunt and uncle are there. And right before the priest comes, my mom is like, I cannot listen to another doo-wop song. Like, you have to change it. Like, please change it. So we put it on like Janis Joplin radio.
Yeah.
And so instead of shutting it off when the priest came, we just muted it. But you could still see on the screen the songs coming up.
Yeah.
And so while the priest is doing his thing and reading the thing, I'm looking, and it's like Teardrops on My Guitar, Stairway to Heaven.
Oh,
Like,
God.
it was like 4 songs in a row. And I was like, he's fucking doing this. Like, this is like, he's mad. He's mad that we changed the music. And it just like, and it was like, I was trying not to laugh, like, especially like once Stairway to Heaven came on the screen, I was like, this cannot be real. Like, this cannot be real, because like there is a priest literally talking about death right now next to my dying father, and like Stairway to Heaven's gonna friggin' come on the radio. Are you kidding me?
You could have made this up. It's brilliant.
Right,
irony.
I'm like, are you? And then like, so then like the priest leaves, and I'm like, did anyone see the screen? Anyone see what was happening? And then like, you know, like we were laughing, but like also like, and then my mom was like, this is weird, put the doo-wop back on. Like, it just
Dad got his own way in the end.
yeah. And it just like, you know, it's like one of those moments that like it was surreal. Like, this cannot be actually happening. Like, it felt like a scene in a sitcom.
I was gonna say, it sounds like
most of my life has felt that way. Just like family dynamics in general. Like, sometimes I'm like, this, like, honestly, I chose the wrong field. I should have tried to go into like sketch comedy and sitcom writing, because like teaching is not lucrative at all. But I feel like I'm sitting on gold here.
Gold dust. Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's just that's wild.
Yeah. Oh, what a brilliant story. Forever. I love that people can explore see the funny side like of that happening. I mean, it must have been bursting to say it, and then waiting for the priest to go, did anyone see?
Yeah, because it was, you know, it's like playing the whole song, and then it would like change, and you know, like the screen would flash when it would change, and so like, you know, out of the corner of my eye, I'm like, oh. And then like the next one, and I was like, once again, I don't have a quiet face, so it was really hard to like keep that together.
Yeah, I really wish the listeners could see your face.
I know, it was so funny. I was like putting makeup on, and I'm like, it's a podcast. No one is seeing this.
So funny.
Love that.
What was your dad's name, Rachel?
Raymond.
Yeah, Ray? Or was he a Raymond? He's a Ray.
Well, Raymond, he went by Ray for the most part.
Yeah, Ray. Oh, that's such a beautiful moment.
Yeah. And when there was a sitcom in, I don't even know what time period, what is time. But like Everybody Loves Raymond.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And that, like, that dynamic with like the mother and him, like, that was like my grandmother, like, oh, my Raymond, he's so wonderful, like, to do no wrong. And then my mom would be like, and like, it just like that way. I was like, somebody came and like took notes of my life and put it on TV.
I loved that show.
It was just so funny, and like it annoyed my mom to no end that the main character's name was Raymond. And like like that alone was hilarious.
Yeah,
it like bothered me so much.
So tell us about Raymond.
He was such a character. So I kind of mentioned earlier, he worked with like car parts and like fixed cars and that kind of stuff. And I remember like we would go visit him at work and there would be like this computer and like all these books with like what make and model and what like part numbers would be. And like people would come in and be like, "Oh, like I think I need this." And like he would just be like, "Oh yeah, it's part like whatever." Like it was like he like didn't even need the computer or the books half the time. And sometimes it was also though like the shoemaker's kids don't have shoes, that whole bit.
Oh, yeah.
The cars that our family had over the years. I mean, I grew up next door to my best friend, and a couple years back, we like sat down and like counted out. And I think from the time we could remember to maybe even the time he passed away, like we counted like 17 different cars.
Oh, wow.
Because like, oh, it was a good deal was like his like famous last phrase. And like, he'd be like, I can fix it. It just needs like X, Y, or Z. But like they would have like 150,000 miles on them when we got them.
Oh my God.
And it just like it was just always something. And like but my sister and I got really good at like imitating car sounds. Because it was almost like a bit for us, like he's not gonna know what this is. And be like, oh, I think it's the fan belt. And then like it would be, which like how rude.
Not really annoying.
Yeah, but yeah, so he loved that. He loved cooking, he loved being in the kitchen.
Yeah.
He didn't have a sense of smell.
Oh, what, really?
He had been in like he like fell off of scaffolding like when I don't even know if my parents were married yet or they were very like early married. So he had like fallen and like had surgeries and like he lost his sense of smell. Which usually was fine, but every once in a while, like we would taste something and be like, he didn't smell, like he couldn't, like the.
Because it affects your taste. Does it affect his taste as well?
A little bit, right? A little bit. It would affect his taste. So like sometimes, like someone would be just like a little off.
Yeah.
But then like he had such a good sense of humor, which is definitely like thank goodness. I got that. Like we'd walk into my grandmother's house on Thanksgiving and be like, "Oh, everything smells amazing." Like
Lies.
Yeah, like he was such a like he was and like he would just like giggle like ha ha like you just would think it was so funny. But so he wanted I don't even remember. Time is so weird with all of this. So like the memories just like circle in and out. But he had wanted a bread machine to be able to make like pizza dough and whatever.
Yeah.
So we got him one. I don't remember if we got it for Christmas or Father's Day, but like we got him one. And like, so first go of it, he followed the recipe to a T, came out great. We're like, look, we made our own bread. It's so exciting. Then he would get creative.
Okay.
And like, so sometimes it worked and then sometimes it didn't. And he decided he wanted to make like a spinach bread.
Ooh.
Which in theory could have worked.
Okay.
But he didn't take into account how much water frozen spinach has. And he did not account for that in the recipe.
Oh, God.
And I don't know if it was in the morning. I don't remember what time it was. But you heard this like hitting. And so we come downstairs and the lid of the bread machine and it's oozing. It was like the blob, just like green and white and just like overflowing because there was too much liquid to like make it actually be a dough.
Oh, God.
And I just remember my mom was like, what is happening? And then he was like, oh, forgot about the water. Like, like it was just like always like something like that.
Yeah.
And like it just was like so funny. I remember we had gone to like Disney World and we had a breakfast pizza and he thought that was the coolest thing. And when we came home, he was like, I have to make my own version. And I don't remember what it was that he put on it, but there were some, we were like, this is gross. Like, Dad, like, it's just like, we leave the magic in Disney. Like, it's just not, like, it's not for us. But like when he could, like when he did it, when he rocked, like, you know, he needed to keep to his like traditional, like
His own recipe.
run of the mill things, right? Like meatballs, Sunday sauce, like
Oh, he was Italian, wasn't he? So he had
yeah,
that
yeah.
Italian
So
recipe.
though my sister has been doing this like deep dive, his father was like from like the French area of Canada.
Yeah.
And apparently like super French, but like you would never know that there was any French anything ever. Because my grandmother was Italian and that was like she was the matriarch and she was the ruler of the roost and how everything went. But it was very funny. And you know, there were things that like he didn't really like. And so we didn't try that many different things growing up because if he didn't like it, it just wasn't part of like just wasn't in the house.
Yeah.
You know, and he was very funny like that, like just certain things. And so my mother is Albanian, which, you know, has that like Mediterranean
Yeah.
kind of, but we did not grow up eating any kind of Albanian food.
It
Like
wasn't happening.
yeah, it just like it honestly like I remember for such a long time just like thinking everybody was Italian. Like every part of my family was Italian. And then to find out like really like I am a quarter Italian. Like I like it's not like I like my mom's entire family is from Albania. Like I'm 50% Albanian. So it's just so funny the way that like family dynamics happen and like what
Yeah,
you
how it
like
takes it.
grow up. And it's also like a regional thing. So like in New Jersey, though it seems to be a very small place, it is sectioned off into different areas of the state. So I
Okay.
grew up in southern New Jersey near like Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Mhm.
But my mom was from New York and my dad was from like northern New Jersey.
Yeah.
So they moved to South Jersey when I was born. So even though I was raised there, I was raised in like a New York, North Jersey like attitude. So
Okay.
it just like so some of that was really funny too because just like the way that they said things and you know like sometimes at school people are like why do you say it that way? I'm like what do you mean why do I say it that way? Like and it so like all of those like little tiny things that like come together. This is so far off topic. You asked me about
But
like
it's so true. I completely resonate with this. I've got Irish family, but discovered I had a dad whose family were German. But I
yeah
grew up Irish, but then I grew up in London with a Cockney accent. But because my Irish family, my Irish nan and granddad was such a strong influence, I had an Irish Cockney accent growing up. It's so bonkers, isn't it?
yeah
So
no
I
it's just like
completely get what you're saying.
wild how that like works. But so one of the things that he loved to make and was kind of like his thing was pepperoni bread, stromboli in a sense,
Oh,
but it
okay.
mainly is just like pizza dough with pepperoni in it,
Mm, that's a good
rolled up,
staple. That's like
baked.
your dead dad dinner, your
Yeah,
memory.
that's the and so it was like family parties he would make it, and or like sometimes he would just get bored and make them and pass them around the neighborhood, just like dropping them off at people's houses.
Oh my God, that's
Um,
amazing. Go Ray.
and so it is something I typically sometimes both, usually his birthday and or his death anniversary, like I usually make it. And
Oh, that's
I
nice.
like to make it in November when like his death anniversary because then I bring it to school because like that was the piece of the pepperoni bread. It was like it's typically for somebody else.
Uh,
Which was funny because sometimes he would make two and like leave one for us, but most times he would just make it for whatever the occasion was. And we'd
yeah.
be like, "Are you like really?" Like it would smell so good, and he's like, "No, that's for like so and so down the street." I'm like,
Oh
"Yeah,
man,
man."
torture.
Uh, so like that's something I like to make when I'm like missing him,
Yeah.
and like bring it somewhere because it feels like that's
It
what
feels
you
like you're
should.
close to him again. It's a way to keep
Yeah,
him alive. Yeah.
and it's funny because during the pandemic, like I used to joke with my sister, be like, "Could you imagine the amount of pepperoni breads Dad would be making right now?" like locked in the house. Like I think like there would have been a shortage of pepperoni, like had he been alive during the pandemic,
All
because
because of Ray.
yeah, and the amount of trips to Home Depot that would have happened. My dad was king of like starting a project and not finishing it.
Oh, no.
Like I remember my mom wanted the kitchen painted, and I feel like even like when we were going to sell the house after he passed away, like if there was like one spot in the kitchen that was never painted.
Oh my God.
Like, you know what I mean? Like it was always like almost completed and then just like stopped. And I
They made pepperoni bread.
right. So between like it was either like some sort of wood project or something around the house half-assed, or the pepperoni bread, or like meatballs and pasta sauce. Like that was kind of like in
That's
terms
Ray
of
in
like,
a nutshell. He's either
yeah,
half
I just
job fixing a
and
car or making pepperoni.
it's funny because he did have a quietness to him.
Mm.
Very funny, dry sense of humor, but it would only come out like when it was time.
Oh, okay.
Um, like you would that's how you would know if he liked one of our friends, because he would actually like speak to them
Oh, I love that
and
as a
like
person. They're very
make a
patient.
joke. You know what I mean? Like, because a lot of times you're like, "Oh, does your dad not like me?" I'm like, "No, it's just him. Like, don't worry about it." But it just like every once in a while he would like say something, and then it would just be like so funny, be like, "Oh, he likes you." Like
Yeah, that's a
that's
sign.
you
You're
know, yeah, yeah, yeah.
choosing.
And so it was funny because my mom is very animated. So like the dynamic there, it was like he kind of like he did have this like quiet sense to him.
Mm.
And in terms of like grief, like he lost his older brother a couple years before he got sick. And so watching him experience grief was very interesting because like he
Mm.
didn't talk about it. Like it
Generation
was
just
like,
don't, do they?
no,
They just,
no,
yeah.
just didn't. And that like the summer after he passed away was my 21st birthday. And I made a joke to my dad that we should make a bar because my birthday's in the summer. And I was
Yeah.
like, we should have like a luau.
Yeah.
This man built a tiki bar because that was the way that he grieved. Like he was busy. He needed to be busy. And like he would so he like I helped build it. Like there's pictures of me with power tools, which is hilarious. But like so we built this like tiki bar in our backyard. And like then it didn't stop there because he discovered Dollar Tree. And then he would just like come home with like random shit from the dollar store. He's like, "Oh, I got this for the tiki bar." And it was like a mask or something. And I was like, "You're like really into this." And like he was not typically like a thematic kind of person. Like my mom
Mm.
is, and she would like, every year Christmas was a different theme, and she'd have like, "Okay, this year is red and gold," and everything would be red and gold. And
Yeah.
like that was part of the household, but not from him necessarily. But he, except for Halloween, he loved Halloween.
Loved it.
There was one, and my sister does too. And there was one year my sister wanted to be Marie Antoinette, and this man made her a working guillotine. And the blade was cardboard, but he used like metal poles, and you could pull a bolt, and the thing would drop.
That's
And my mom's
incredible.
like, the kitchen hasn't been painted in 5 years, but you're gonna just go make a guillotine, like, because that's you know what I mean? Like, it was like that kind of stuff. Like, it was always random, and like he'd go real hard when it was like in the zone, but like
Yeah.
you never knew what you were gonna get with him.
I wish my grief was more productive like that. Why didn't I go build myself a bar when I was grieving?
I
That
can't
would have been
remember
more
what I was
Ray.
doing while I was grieving. I think, I especially through kind of lockdown and stuff. It was like a new thing each month. Like, oh, I'm really into aromatherapy, and then all of a sudden I've got like every essential oil diffuser, and I've started a business, and then within a month it's like it's back in the cupboard. I bought roller skates because I was going to be like, I don't know, a pro skater, and that never happened. It's
Oh,
just
that's good.
ridiculous the things that you kind of because sometimes your grief can kind of channel in that way, so you become hyper fixated, is it, on
for
on
sure,
different things, like
yeah, the pandemic was weird in like all kinds of ways, but I had gotten divorced toward the end of 2019. So during the pandemic, it was the first time I had ever lived completely alone.
Oh, wow.
So that was a wild time because there were lots of things to grieve then at that point. And then like holidays were like I remember doing Thanksgiving over FaceTime
God,
with my
yeah.
mom and sister and like all of those things. So it like compounded all of the, you know, kind of like it kind of I feel like it like messed up the timeline almost. Like
Yeah.
which like there is no timeline and there's no actual like way of grieving, but it kind of felt like I was like getting to a point where like I was like almost okay with some things.
Mm.
And then like when you're like, you know, by yourself all day every day, left with your own thoughts and, you know, Tiger King on Netflix. I mean, it was a weird time, you know. I made a 4-episode like YouTube cooking series.
Way.
Yeah. Well, so I had like made a video. I was like making something and I sent it to my friend. She was like, you need to like make like a real video. So I made one. It mainly was for her. Like I was like, okay, fine, whatever. I'm like, nothing else is going on. So like I made this like stupid cooking video and I put it on YouTube and I like put it on my Facebook or whatever. And then I started getting like text messages. Like some people were like, that was really funny. Like I would watch that again. And then some people were like, oh, you need better lighting if you're going to do that again. I'm like, oh my God. Like I'm not. Like, I'm not trying to be a YouTuber. Like I'm bored and I have nothing else to do. And we're a cooking family. Like we make things and give it to people. And so it was just like, we're just going to cook things. And so some of my students found the cooking videos, which is, they're like, can you like make another one? I'm like, no, like we're just not gonna, it's like a dark time. We're just not gonna talk about it. We're gonna pretend it didn't exist, didn't happen. But I do have a lot of like fun memories with food with my dad. One more, I'm sorry. I feel like I just like have not stopped talking this entire time.
It's great. We're loving it. Yeah.
But so, I don't know, brand wise, like Entenmann's,
No, I haven't heard of that.
It's like a cake, like a packaged cake brand.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So, my dad loved like a crumb cake, like coffee cake situation. And there was this brand, Entenmann's. It's like seared in my brain, white box, blue lettering. So he worked for like an AutoZone type, like a car part thing. And he was moved a few times to different locations. And one of the locations he was at was like next to an Entenmann's outlet.
Oh no, that's got disaster written all over it.
At one point, my mom was like, if I see one more box of crumb cake, I'm gonna lose my shit. And like, because to him, he was like, it's such a good deal. Like, and he would he'd like put it in the freezer. And my mom's like, we need room in the freezer for like, meals, like actual food and vegetables and like all this stuff. And it was at one point, it was just like crumb cake, rolls, bread, like just all of the things.
Crumb cake everywhere.
It's just everywhere. And it's funny, like if I don't have like the mental, emotional capacity to make the pepperoni bread, because like it does bring up stuff, I will buy an Entenmann's crumb cake and bring that somewhere. It's like that's the other piece. I'm like, Entenmann's crumb cake, like done. Like I cannot, like I'll see it sometimes in the grocery store and I just laugh because I just think of my dad. And it's just like those kinds of things that like I probably look like a psycho laughing in the middle of the grocery store looking at a crumb cake. You know what I mean? Like it's like, because what is funny about that? Nothing to the general person. But I'm like picturing my dad coming home with his boxes, like so excited because it was only like $1. It's just
that is such a great visual. I love that.
Yeah,
that was brilliant.
Just randomly kind of laughing in a supermarket, and then kind of having to quickly explain why you're not absolutely crazy. Like,
I love.
Oh,
that
sorry, crumb cake, dead dad.
Sorry, my dad.
Breadcrumb cake. Don't mind me. Just processing.
That's so good.
Yeah. No, I mean, I am so grateful. I say it a lot. I'm so grateful to have a good sense of humor because I think that is probably the thing that has continuously saved me in any form of grief is like finding a way to laugh about it. Like we talked about before, the cross dad off the list account on Instagram. Like, I mean, some of those posts are, and it's so terrible, but it's so funny.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm really mad at my dad, and it slides. He died. Or like the Ouija board, and it's like wanted to call my dad. Like, ridiculous. Yeah. And like I'll send that to my sister, and like, and it's like if anybody like hasn't experienced it and sees that it seems so crass and so insensitive to laugh about something like that. But the other piece is like he also would find it funny.
Yeah. It humanizes like, it.
I remember being in the car when my uncle passed away, and like you had to like put a placard on your car that said funeral to like drive in the procession. Like, like it was like a traffic thing. Like, so you could go through traffic lights and stuff because you were part of the thing. And like, I mean, Another One Bites the Dust came on the radio. And he like turned it up and he's like singing and dancing. My mom's like, Raymond, are you like for real? And he's like, what? We put the fun in funeral. Like, what? Who says that? You know what I mean? Like, sometimes it's just like, you know, those kinds of clips and things. It's like,
Raymond, put the fun in funeral.
Fun in funeral, 100%. We nicknamed him Gorilla because he had like big ass hands. Like he would touch a hot pan on purpose because like it didn't like his hands were calloused from like working and like so like he didn't feel like he didn't burn his hand. He's like, oh, whatever. And then my mom would touch it. She's like, oh my gosh, it's hot. And he's like, yeah, I don't know what to tell you. But at the viewing for my uncle, he had placed his hand on the top of the coffin. Yeah. To like lean in and I guess like say whatever he needed to say. But like it was toward the end of the night and it was really just family left in the room and the flowers are shaking. Like he almost knocked all of the flowers off because like he didn't realize like the grip that he had. Yeah. And so like once again it was like a moment where we're like we shouldn't be laughing right now. But like my sister and I were like, could you imagine if it fell? Like if it just all fell down?
That's too good.
I'm imagining Raymond's hands being like he's got those Hulk hands on.
Yes, yeah. It was just like that, and it was so funny. And like my mom used to get so mad. My grandma would get mad because one time she heard us call him Gorilla, and she got really mad. And we're like, he likes it. It's fine. Like, it's gonna be all right. We're gonna make it. Like my dad could do no wrong in the eyes of my grandmother. Like,
nobody says right.
But not my Raymond. He's so wonderful.
I really, this is a perfect time to ask you, and I kind of saw glimpses of your hands, but I wanted to ask, is there anything your dad left you? Please say ginormous Hulk hands.
Okay, no. However, my second toe is longer than my first toe. And I have bunions, which definitely come from his side of the family, and I have big ass feet. Like my mom has like a size like 7'8", and like I have a size 10, and I'm only like 5'5". Like it's not like, and it's terrible digestion, like stomach. I joke about it all the time. Like thanks, Dad, appreciate that. Got your sense of humor, but also the worst stomach in the world. Cool, glad for that.
Great, thanks, Dad.
Thanks a lot. But yeah, so
so good.
Yeah. It is really funny though, and genetics wise too, because I have a picture and I'll send it to you guys just so you can see it, because why not? But it's like a side by side of my two grandmothers, my dad's mom and my mom's mom, and then my sister and I. And like I am like carbon copy my dad's mom, and she is like carbon copy my mom's mom. But then the two of us look alike.
That's so bizarre, isn't it? When
It's
that happens.
wild. Like, it is so, like, I definitely like I have a more round face like my dad. You know, like I definitely have features of him, but then I also, like, if I'm with my mom, like I look like my mom too.
Yeah.
So like that is just, that always like is so wild to me.
Yeah. I
Uh,
always, yeah, we see that in families where one
yeah.
side looks after mum, one side. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like, it's like weird. The other thing, he didn't really love this one, but he kind of looks like, you know, the two grumpy Muppets
Oh,
that
yeah.
like sit in the balcony?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He looks like one of them. I know, like, I have a
I'm
side by side, I'll send you that too, just why not,
Yeah.
of him next to the Muppet. And, like, so, like, that was, like, my sister and I would, like, just we rolled because we had, like, family friends,
Yeah.
and their dad kind of looked like the other guy. So, like, one year we, like, took a picture of the 2 of them sitting on the couch and then, like, put it, like, side by side with both of the Muppets, and they were
Oh
like,
my
You have to stop saying this, like, please don't say this, like, nobody wants to be called the cranky Muppet." But, like, you can't unsee it, like, and, like, once you see, like, you
God.
cannot unsee it. And, like, he wasn't thrilled with that one. Like, he thought, like, Gorilla Hands was fun, like, he thought that was funny, but, like, don't call him a Muppet, like, that's the line.
That's
Like,
a
that,
limit.
no, thank you. So, like, every once in a while, if I, like, need a laugh, I, like, go through my screenshots and, like, look for that one. I'm like,
Yeah.
um,
It's exactly the type of thing I would have done to my family. I'm fully
oh,
there.
um, and
Yeah.
it's, like, not really dead dad related, but it is, like, family dynamic related. So obviously you can not put this in the podcast, but whatever. So my sister and I, like, have this thing with, like, I'm the favorite. And one time she was having, like, her college friends come down, and my friend worked at in the photo section of Target, like the developing photos,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
and we printed out, like, at least, like, 25 different pictures of me, and I replaced every photo of her in the house with me.
Every photo of your sister in the
But
house.
right, so when her friends came, it looked like there were only pictures of me in the house and none of her.
I love you. That is brilliant.
And my sister thought it was hilarious, but, like, she didn't notice at first because, like, you know, but,
You
like,
would.
her friends did. And, like, you can see, and I just, like, waited, and I was like, "Here we go." Um, and it just, like, we've always had this kind of thing, and it does actually relate to my dad because my dad used to watch wrestling, like WWE,
Oh
like,
yeah, yeah,
big wrestling when we were kids. And my sister and I had, like, spots in front of the TV, like,
yeah,
one of us on the right, one on the whatever. And she would always, like, sit in mine. Like, I would get up to go to the bathroom, she would sit in it.
yeah.
So one day she did that and I was mad. So I jumped on the top of the couch and I leapt off of it and was like, body slam! Because it was like from the wrestling, like, and like knocked the wind out of her, like literally like knocked her out. Because she took my seat. And my dad was banished upstairs if he wanted to watch wrestling. He was not allowed to watch it downstairs because I was like, oh, it works on that. Like, you know. And then, like, as an adult, I'm like, what a brilliant man to have
Yeah.
watched that downstairs. Oh, I'm so sorry. You're going to go upstairs and watch wrestling by yourself while your wife is downstairs with your, like, crazy children. Like, genius. The man was a genius.
That is
Um,
genius. Well done, Ray.
yeah, like, way to go, Ray.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I have of his, like, word puzzles, crosswords, love a crossword. He used to do them all the time, and so, like, I like having, like, that piece. And early to bed. Like, I am a 9 p.m. bed kind of girl.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to be a person anymore. And, like, he was kind of like, he was like, it's time, and he would just go to bed. Like, there was
Yeah.
no
No whistle man.
arguing. He was like, it is time, and he would just ascend. And then my mom's a night owl. She'd be up till like 2 a.m. But, like, that's something, like, I'm
You
like an
feel
early
the
to bed,
same.
early to
Yeah.
rise. Like, I was always up with him. Like, we would, you
Yeah.
know, and
Yeah, I
then, like,
completely
watching
agree.
him try to,
Nothing
like, wake
good.
up my mom and sister was always very funny because they're not morning people.
They're not morning people, so you get that from your decks. I honestly think nothing good happens after 9 o'clock at night. So go to bed.
No, like what? Why? This year for New Year's, I literally set an alarm for 11:55. Like I went to bed,
Yeah.
woke up at 11:55, waited the 5 minutes, was like, "Woo, Happy New Year," and then just went right back to bed. Like I don't need to be out. I
No.
I would like to be asleep. Like, and you know what? So far, I think I made the right choice because like 2026 can suck it like already. Like January sucked.
Hell yeah.
Catherine O'Hara, come on.
I know.
Like, really?
Mm-hmm.
It's not right.
Mm-hmm.
It's not
It's
right.
not.
Once again, plenty of people that could have gone instead.
Hell yeah to that.
Not your dad, not your dad, not my dad, not Catherine O'Hara.
No.
Other people.
Yes.
Like half of the US Congress. Sorry.
I think everyone who's listening will be nodding along furiously with you there.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Didn't mean to get like political, but it's like that's the piece sometimes where like I get unreasonably angry. I'm like, why?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
He was great. He was so fun. He was wonderful. He was a good person.
Yeah. Why? Why?
You know, like
It's fair.
that's not fair.
Mm.
No.
It's not fair. And like I hate that I can't introduce people to him.
God, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a piece. I don't know if you guys feel that, but like,
Oh, I really feel
oh
it.
my gosh, like either like this person would have loved my dad or like my dad would have gotten such a kick out of like this person or this thing. And you know, like it sucks that like he can't meet anybody else.
Yeah, that's it.
And
He's
nobody else
written out
gets
of
to
it.
meet him, you know? And like so
Yeah.
even like friends that I've made like after he died, you know, I'll share stories and it's like, "Oh, I wish I could meet him." I'm like, "Yeah, me too." So sad for you. But
It's so true. Yeah.
Mm.
but yeah, it is something that like no one can prepare you for.
No.
And even now, like 10 years out, like I'm still not prepared. Like it's not something that I'm like, oh, I'm ready now. Like, no, still
No.
wouldn't be ready. And you know, it's not something I would wish on like my worst enemy.
No. And yet we've all got to go through it at some point. And that,
Yeah, yeah. But it's
yeah.
like it just sucks. Like it sucks so bad. Uh, but it is really cool to like in a weird way meet people that like get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes you feel more normal, more connected. It's a shared experience that changes you for the rest of your life and never goes away. So when you find someone else who's gone through it, you're like, ha ha ha, now
Yeah.
you can join forces with
Yes.
me.
Yeah. Well, and then you can also kind of like sometimes make like the offhand comments that like
Yeah.
a regular person would be like, I can't believe you just said that. But like you know, you get it. Like
Yeah.
sometimes it's like, that's really friggin' funny. Like,
Yeah, it's really funny. These things live rent free in my mind, but now I
yeah.
can say them out loud.
I think it's amazing that we just deal with this negativity so well, and just it's amazing that we can laugh about it. And I think it's more amazing, Marina, that we've managing to find other people. It's not just you and me.
Yeah,
But
honestly, I thought we were just the odd ones out, but no, there are
I
others
know,
like us out there.
I know. There really is a club, isn't there? I think what can we end? No, it's never good to end on a positive note, or things never really end up on a positive note, especially not in grief or death. Unless, yeah, no, there's nothing positive
No,
about it. But it'd be good, interesting if do we have anything positive that we do like to get through things, or like I don't know, like tips?
I wish listeners could
no.
see what you just did. Matty did this wonderful head bob, tips with his head going side to side, looked hilarious.
No, I try not to be positive about anything. So sorry.
Just to, it sets up that expectation, doesn't it?
No, I'm just kidding. You know what? I think it's so cliche, but like life is short, and I think that that's a piece that I do try to take away is that you know cherish the time that you have
Mm.
and tell the people that you love them.
Yeah.
And, you
Tell the
know,
people that you hate them
you
as
know,
well.
I will say I think that's my New Year's resolution is to like be a villain and be meaner. I feel like I could be meaner than I am. But it just I do think that, you know, grief is something that can be a tool for connection that I mean obviously it's why I reached out to this in general. But yeah, I think it is hard and it's the balance. My therapist and I actually talk about it a lot. Like two things can be true. Like
Mm.
it's okay to like sit in the sad and be in the grief while still having like positive experiences. And that
Okay.
I think took a while. Like I don't feel bad about having fun because I did for a while. Like it felt wrong to enjoy things because
Yeah.
my dad wasn't here and like that. Like why should I have fun? Um, but I think that it's okay to be sad that you're missing someone and be sad that they're not there while also being able to like live in the moment and enjoy what you have and like look for the good. Because I think it also is a practice to look for the good. It is very easy to get stuck in all of the things that are terrible, because most things are terrible. But I do think like there is like some sort of comfort in knowing that like you can also still be happy. Um, and
That
like
is so powerful.
and,
That's
like, the Inside Out thing, like, where it's, like, at the end of the movie where it's, like, the yellow and the blue, like, the memories are both, you
yeah.
know, like, it's okay to be sad that someone's not there, but it's also, like, you should tell people about the person that you lost and the things that are funny about them and, like, silly things and little things, because little things are the big things, and, you know, I think sometimes it helps people feel less alone, you know,
Mm.
being the person that's willing to like say the uncomfortable thing or say the thing that you're feeling or saying or missing, and then it kind of allows other people to then have that almost like I feel like sometimes people feel like they need permission to
Yeah.
feel sad.
And space
uh,
to do. And space.
you know, or that like they feel bad for not being sad in a moment. And I think that like it's okay to have the fluctuation and it's
Mm.
there's no one way to feel about any of it and there's no one way to grieve. And I think that in general just being able to talk to anybody, like find somebody to talk to, um you know, someone that doesn't mind listening even if you say the same thing 7 times.
Yeah.
I think that's a piece. I think if someone out there is like just going through it, um you know, everybody's very quick in the beginning to be like, oh, what do you need, what do you need, how can I help, how can I help, and then it like kind of slowly like everybody just goes back to normal, and then you're like, oh, I guess I can't mention it anymore, or
Mm.
maybe I shouldn't talk about it. But knowing that like there are people out there that know what you're going through, and would probably be more than willing or happy to listen about your
Yeah.
person.
And I
Yeah.
think that's it. I think it's you don't have to be like a full-on therapist. I mean, it's helpful, but you don't need you don't you know, all somebody needs to do is just listen, or be able to give you eye contact for the whole time that you're talking, or not be afraid to. No, I'm not going to go too far with it. Just the positive thing is for someone to say, I hear you and I want to hear you."
Yeah.
Is yeah.
I
Yeah.
really, really liked what you said, Rachel, about look for the good. Life is a bit shitty for lots of reasons and lots of horrible, and it does take work to look for the good, and but once you start doing it, it becomes a good habit that you practice. I read something, my positive thing, I read something recently that said it's a bit cheesy, and I don't often sign up for this. It was an Instagram reel, but I really liked the message behind this one. It said, "You are the executive director of your own life. Your life is your company, and you can choose to hire, fire, or promote the people you put around you. And I think in times of grief, that's really important. That's when it really shows up in your life. And sometimes you're kind of, it's a good way. The crappy side to it is that it does help you put some boundaries in place and make you work harder to find the joy through the pain. And that might just be the most profound thing I've ever said.
It's absolutely beautiful. Love it. Love it.
Inspired by you, Rachel. Thank you.
Yeah, no, that is really fun though. I like that idea. Like the executive director. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
I gotta say, my face is aching. What an absolute brilliant time that we've had.
Yeah.
And I love through the power of the internet that we've been able to do this despite the miles and the distance and the time difference.
Yeah.
It's been fantastic. We were saying just as we were on a break between recording, I feel like there needs to be a Rachel part 2. For sure. We'd love to have you back at some point.
Well, this was really fun. I enjoyed it a lot. You know, I'm very nervous to talk in front of people, clearly. So I don't know if we're ready for a part 2. No,
I think you might just be the best person we've had on for just going for it. It's brilliant. No holds barred, and we are here for that. We loved it.
Yeah, no, this was really wonderful. Thank you guys for the opportunity and for staying up a little later your time. You know, and one of the emails today I was like reading, and there was like it was like an AI summary, and it was like, Rachel missed the first meeting because of the time difference. And it was like, it pointed out that I didn't pay attention to that you guys were in London, England in general. And I was cracking up. I was like, oh yeah, I remember that. Missed the first meeting because I was like, me too.
Well, it's because we were stupid our side as well. Because we're like, well, obviously she's in England. You were not.
Yes.
We didn't even think about it. Yeah. We are so glad that the algorithm brought you to us and that we were able to meet you and do this. And we definitely want to have you back for sure.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah. Here's to Ray.
Yes.
Everybody loves Raymond.
Thanks for listening to us, turning grief into giggles and loss into laughter.
We're sharing these tales to help others feel less alone.
We're just getting started, but we would love to bring guests in for future episodes.
Got a story? Want to disco with us?
Get in touch with us, links in the bio.
Let's make grief a little less grim.